Was that the worst Raw of the year? Maybe. It's hard to remember Raw from like 4 or 5 months ago. So, can't say for sure, but wow, hey, whatever. Welcome to a Mark It Down production. My name is Little Karibo, and I've probably used that name before, but I don't care because there's a new episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge, so I'm happy about it. Anyway, this is the Mark It Down show, or Danny's Raw Fast Forward, or guy with who speaks in too many sentence fragments and run-on sentences, fast forwards through Raw, and then has the fucking audacity to talk about it on YouTube to people who have to listen to his poor run-on sentences and sentence fragments, and it's just a mess, really, isn't it? Or also sometimes just known as fast forward. No one calls it any of these things. But anyway, I'm going to talk about Monday Night Raw, which opened up with Cody Rhodes coming out here, really selling his injury from last night. Way to kayfabe things, Cody. Good job. And it's Cody Rhodes promo, so of course he fucking cries, because he is the number one cry baby face in WWE. He is the number one on the ranking. So of course he's gonna shed some tears. It's Cody Rhodes. He's got to do it. But whatever, he tries to put over Seth Rollins, but you know, that guy's a fucking loser who lost to Cody Rhodes 3 times. Can even beat a guy with a completely torn pectoral muscle, so he's a fucking chump. So there's no putting him over. There was a sign in the crowd that said MJF WWE, but it was held upside down the whole time, which is kind of symbolic, because if you're the kind of person bring that sign to WWE show, you hate MJF, I guess, and you want him to be worse. Anyway, this is not the show for that. Anyway, Seth Rollins comes out and he says some really nice things, and it was actually kind of sweet, and he put him over, and I was like, oh, you know what, that's probably the best way to protect Seth Rollins, who took 3 losses in a row, including to a guy with a torn pectoral muscle. Like, showing respect, having him babyface it without fully turning babyface is a good way. Oh, wait, never mind. He attacked him as Cody was leaving up the ramp, and cool, whatever, don't care. Dana Brooke? Really? Dana Brooke? Bro, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I had this feeling last week when they interacted backstage that this exact fucking scenario was gonna happen. But Dana Brooke beat Becky Lynch because of Asuka literally holding down Becky's leg while Dana tried to pin her. And it was for the 24/7 championship, because Dana won it during the match, and then Becky was like, well, restart the match, put the title on the line. And I called this, not just like last week, but I called this like weeks ago, talking about Becky going on an illusion streak and a downward spiral that leads to her, you know, basically turning face again and finding what made her badass in the first place, and then going on to face Ronda at WrestleMania. And so I knew she was going to take some losses that she shouldn't really be taking, but fucking Dana Brooke, the 24/7 title. Oh, the night after they steal the fucking show, well, not steal the show, because, you know, one guy wrestled with a fucking torn pectoral muscle, but other than that, you know, there was a 2-match show last night, and both the people from those matches are already being used, so, you know, rough. This was garbage. This was fucking garbage. Oh my god. And it doesn't make me more excited about more Becky Asuka, because they've already burned through the match twice, 2.5 times, counting last night. Dumb.
Check it out, Joey's showing his ruthless aggression.
John Cena's coming back. Maybe that's when Raw will be good again. It's only been like 2 weeks, but like... Also, I don't miss John Cena, but good for you, James. Miz won't show his fucking balls to the crowd. What a heel. And Profits win a championship contenders match via countout against the Usos. So we'll get some Riddle Usos, Riddle's Profits versus the Bloodline action, and that's cool. I'm for that. That's way more interested in whatever the fuck the Bloodline's been doing for the past 6 months. I can't even remember now. Besides unifying the tag titles. So I'll take it, I guess. Theory and Lashley are apparently going to feud, and they had a terrible segment where out of nowhere Theory was just like, hey, look at my bicep, you know, and you know, it's a nice bicep, you know, it's got some curve to it, you know, it's fine. But then Lashley was like, okay, well, I have a big bicep, and this was dumb, this was bad, I didn't like this, I'm not excited for this. Everything nice I said about Theory the other day. So the Day of Judgment came out and bragged about their win and teased a new member all night. They had the Cody countdown clock, you know, teasing them, announcing a new member, and that new member is no one else but Finn Balor, who got pinned last night. And the match was like, I got beat up, so I might as well join him, you know? Can't beat him, join him. Right? Makes sense. And they're saying, like, yeah, that we realized, you know, when we joined this group, how much we were being held back, and you told us to get rid of the things holding us back. And then they turned on Edge, and I didn't see this coming. I don't know if it's good, but I didn't see it coming. I don't like Edge's cheap hometown heat promos as a spooky heel, but this is really early for this, right? I'm excited for Rhea and Damian and Finn, because Finn's leading the group. That's cool. He's going to be heel on the main roster. That's cool. That's different. But I don't know if this made sense. But you know what? I don't care, because in a boring show, this was something, right? I'll be honest with you.
I'm not as funny as Danny.
This was a weak week for Zeke. Okay, so other stuff happened, like Fury squashing Dom and bullshit, blah, 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 but the show was nothing. The main event was a fatal four-way to determine Bianca's number one contender between Doudrop, Liv, Rhea, and Alexa. You could have had Becky in there, and she loses that match to help slowly drive her man instead of a Dana fucking Brooke. But, you know, especially the last night you told the story that she was robbed, and Bianca kind of robbed it from her after Becky tried to steal the pin all match, and then Bianca gave her comeuppance by stealing the pin. You know, so that was like a story you told last night, so you could have followed that up here and had her not win this match, and that's fine. But whatever. It took a while for this match to get going. It wasn't the best. Rhea is probably the best in ring of this group, and she's also the youngest, so, you know, kind of makes sense that it wasn't the best. The last few minutes got good, but up until then it was a little whatever. It wasn't bad, it was just kind of there. A lot of the show was kind of there. But Rhea Ripley picked up the win, hitting some sort of riptide on Doudrop, and she's going to face Bianca, and oh boy, I actually wish they held off on this for another pay-per-view or two, because I think Rhea needs to be the one to take it off Bianca, but I don't think you're going to do it so soon, right? I don't know. But this show was not great, man. It was no Filbert. It was no horsing around. This was more of the BoJack Horseman show than a horsing around or a Filbert, you know? This was no Secretariat by any means. So, not great. Go home.